Well, I used to go to a lot of games, you know, a lot of the players rib me for it now because I used to turn up in a little blazer and a Man United tie, and I used to go into the change rooms, and Steve Bruce still mentions it now, you know. I remember him turning around to me and saying, "This must be some player," because I used to be there nearly every game. You know, I was mascot for one game at West Ham.
Did the players used to rib him when he came
Oh, I hammer him, but I think he used to like that as a kid. You can imagine, my kid would be the same. You can imagine your lad walking into Man United's dressing room with 12, 13 years of age and sitting there and having dinner with us and all the rest of it, you know. He must have thought it was wonderful, and well, he got a bit of stick towards the end, yeah.
Today the spotlight fell on Italy and the World Cup as champions Argentina kicked off the tournament. Of course, every young player dreams of taking part in soccer's greatest event.
But for one 14-year-old boy who has just signed for Manchester United, the question is, will he be able to handle the fame and fortune, or will he self-destruct?
The waiting is over. The World Cup has started, and throughout the country, young lads are kicking, dribbling and dreaming. For most of them, it's all about their idol, England captain Brian Robson.
It's there again. Forward. This is Blackmore. This is Robson. The time to control it and pick his place.
But for many, the chance of meeting, let alone emulating their hero, is an impossible dream. But for this 14-year-old Chingford lad, David Beckham, the dream has become a reality. Because despite being chased by top clubs Spurs and Arsenal, he's just signed with Robson's home team, Manchester United.
David, will you hurry up? You're late.
Now what happens now? He's leaving school and he's going north. Now what's going to happen?
Most likely, which ain't been decided yet, he'll move up to Manchester, either finish his schooling off up there, and then he'll go into digs up there. We've met his next mum and dad, so to speak, and they're lovely, so we've got no worries.
There's a picture of you there, signing with Alex Ferguson. What was it like when you signed that? How did you feel when you...
Well, it was brilliant, straight from when we left here. When we got there, it was just brilliant. Signing the paper and that. Just couldn't believe it was happening.
I presume you're really looking forward to it. But won't you miss home?
I probably will miss it a little bit, but I'll be doing what I want to do, so.
Annie and Tommy Kay, they was my favourite landlady and landlord, because it was more sort of like my mum and dad, and it was more homely, and you know, there's people always popping in and out, and you know, that was the best time I had up here.
He's good, he clears up the table and he'll wash his cups and saucers and he'll wipe the table down when he's finished, makes himself toast. He's good.
Is he? In at the right time?
Oh yes.
You must be very proud of him.
Very dedicated he is, really.
Is he?
He is.
It was weird because, you know, the digs lads seems to stick together, and, you know, the northern lads used to always stick together, and I don't think they actually liked me that much when I first come up, because I used to have the Man United tracksuit and the nice Adidas boots even then, and it was, you know, I think there was a bit sort of always a little cockney, flash little so-and-so.
No, what made us think that?
Typical Cockney, really. Quite flashy, you know, wore all the nice gear.
Becks was the biggest pose, you know, and he had, you know, he was into his clothes and that at a young age too. And
obviously we had our little cliques we used to knock about with your own personal friends, and like one or two from the club, but most of the time we'd all go out together and meet on a Saturday night or go to a snooker club, have a bit of a good time.
He was very quiet, just like most of us really, being our first year, and you know, as time went on we all got to know each other better.
And all the other lads used to give him stick because of his accent, but in the end, even though he won't admit it, he'd become a bit of a mank himself.
You know, we used to train at the Cliff in Littleton Road, and the young girls from around there used to always come and watch, and probably the favourite players were David Beckham and Ryan Giggs.
Beckham stood out because he could strike a ball and, you know, put it on a postage stamp for you wherever he asked him to do it.
He could kick the ball miles, and you could see as soon as I saw him play, you could tell that he was something special.
At that time, I wouldn't say that Davy was that conspicuous among the players, although it was very shortly afterwards that Alex indicated to me that he felt that they had somebody fairly special.
The first time I saw him, I think, was as part of that golden generation, really, which I think many of us have compared to the Busby Babes. It's Sir Alex Ferguson's answer to the Busby Babes, if you like, that great 1992-93 FA Youth Cup winning side. And Beckham wasn't the first of those players to break through. I think Ryan Giggs was, but he was pretty close behind.
If you think about this, and this gives you an idea how good they were, I think they only lost one Lancashire league game that year, A-League, and they're all under 18. They're winning games 6 and 7-0. They beat Liverpool, I think, 6-0 with Alan Hansen in the team one day. You know, it was absolutely unbelievable.
Thousands of people used to turn up on the Cliff training ground just to watch, you know, the youth team, and that was sort of the first taster of big crowds that were coming down to watch us. You know, some of the football we played, even when I look back at it now, no one could sort of get near us.
And young David Beckham coming on. Young midfield player as Kanchelskis goes off.
He was used carefully by Alex, and he's tried to do that with all the young United players, and he gave David his chances in small doses.
I think it was playing in the Champions League against Galatasaray. Didn't do much for the first 5 minutes, and then we had a free kick. Man U got a free kick, and I always remember the commentator going, "Now this young man, David Beckham, he really can hit free kicks. He's a bit of a free kick specialist. He really can curl them. So let's see what he's got."
Now Beckham is a useful free kick exponent. Here's one of them. Driven well, but just wide of the goal.
And they showed it from the angle, from facing the goal, and he hit it, and I just remember seeing this ball go like that. And the commentator's words, I distinctly remember him going, "Oh my word, and he really can curl them, can't he?" And I remember thinking, yeah, he can.
That's a very, very good one. That's not so far wide, is it? That's got it's got some dip and swerve on that one.
Cantona charging, Bulent getting himself into trouble. Beckham! It's a goal! 2-0! First Davis the youngster, second Beckham the youngster.
A few of my mates in London turn around to me and say I'm lucky, and that I know I'm lucky, but you know, you have to give up a lot of things, and like, I was prepared to do that to get what I want, and hopefully I do get what I want.
He looked from the outset like a potential member of a boy band. You know, he was obviously more than just a footballer. I don't think any of us expected him to make this kind of great crossover from football into pop and fashion and culture the way he has. But even at the outset, you could see this was a very good-looking young man with a talent and a sense of where the limelight was, really.
The next step forward would be away from that limelight. The young East Ender was sent on loan to North End.
I think it was maybe a little bit cheeky, but I phoned Alex and said whether we could have him on loan. They probably value him about 3 million, but I think we'll get him down to about 2.5.
At the time, you know, I wasn't sort of happy with it because I just thought that they were sort of pushing me out. But, you know, the manager got me in his office and he explained why I was going on loan, and you know, it done me the world of good. It's sort of made me mature a little bit.
Linesman! When I was at Preston, I was trying to score. I always concentrate on just whipping it as fast as I can, just into the area where all our players are. All our players are going to arrive, hopefully.
There's Bruce! Oh, off the line and in! Andy Cole's got his arm up.
Andy Cole's arrival from Newcastle had seen with it the departure of Keith Gillespie. And with Andrei Kanchelskis now off the books as well, the start of the 95-96 season gave Beckham a real chance to establish himself on the right-hand side of United's midfield.
It's funny football that way, you know, where one area of the team worries you, then something like that, turn of fortune, engineers itself into a situation where I started to play David as a wide right player.
Oh, at last! At last! Beckham. Nicky Butt. It just won't break for them. It might now. Here's Cole. Can he turn? Sharp. Oh, beautiful goal from David Beckham.
Beckham's cross, and the opening score